Hello, welcome back to Cage Side Press. I am Patrick McCart, and I am joined by one of the most prolific fighters in Octagon, shall we say, Shem.
You
How are you, my man?
know, right, lad?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you, man? You injury took you out of the Bannock fight. How are you feeling? How's the recovery going?
Um, Lad, it was one of them, bro. The camp was more injuries than I'd like, and then the final nail in the coffin was getting injured so close to the fight, and then the same injury reoccurring in sparring. So it was one of them, lad. Like I would have still stepped in there and fought, but I've got smart people around me, and they kind of said, "Look, bro, you can't fight like this." And the fight obviously got cancelled, lad, and it would have been nice for me to get three in a year, three first round finishes, but sometimes, lad, it's just not meant to be, is it?
No. And I have to say, I was obviously there in Prague this last weekend, and a lot of people were saying like this card is amazing, but we're missing the cherry on top of the cake, right? The Shamrock Bannock fight, just the your energy. Like honestly, you and Will would have been hilarious on the press conference. It was
Yeah.
really hysterical.
When I was watching the presser, I was thinking, where the fuck would they have sat me? Because everywhere is enemy territory for me, lad.
Worried you might have been stuck on the prelim conference.
Nah, what the fuck, lad? You mad? They had that bird on the main one, lad.
What, Cecile Belanda, the title? She won
Yeah,
herself,
lad,
man.
come on, that fight was boring, wasn't it?
I didn't watch it. I was interviewing Phuket.
There you go, look, man didn't even go and watch it. You know what, though, at the presser, she was funny, yeah.
It was really funny. You should have seen. I don't think you could see it on TV, but when she started talking, Losan Kato was just constantly rolling his eyes because she just wouldn't stop. She went on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, because he wanted to be about him, don't he, lad?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about what did you think about his performance against Ronnie Paradiso?
You can't knock it, can you, lad? He didn't get taken down. He didn't get fucking battered on the feet, and he knocked your man out. Got a finish.
He did
He-
get dropped though. He did get sat down briefly.
yeah, but it weren't like he was hurt or nothing, was he?
Mm.
I think he's almost done everything he can in Octagon now, hasn't he? What's left for him
Yeah,
to achieve? He's won both belts. He's won the game changer. He's won both belts twice now, hasn't he?
yeah.
What does he do now, lad?
Fight Shamrock. Not a bad idea, right?
I'd like that, but would him and his team like that?
Well, the people are saying like, well, first of all, who were you offered to fight in Dusseldorf? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but no one said I'm not. So I was offered your man. What's his name? Eskiev.
SDF, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how soon do you think you can come back? Do you think that's a fight that could represent itself?
If that's what he wants, yeah, why not? March, April, I'll be good to go. Obviously, like there's fights that I want, and there's fights that they want. So we kind of have to co-align the two. I just want guys who are going to sell the show, guys who are going to come and fans are going to be excited to watch me fight. I'm not really bothered fighting these fucking any guys and who don't mean nothing to me, who don't get me out of bed in the morning. Like, to be honest, Bannock was one of them guys who I didn't really deserve to be there. The only thing I was motivated to fight him is that I was supposed to fight him on my debut. So it was like, do you know what? I owe this guy a beating. I didn't fucking get him last time. But maybe that fight will never happen now. He pulled out one, I've pulled out one. I'd happily do the trilogy and let's see if it happens for real this time. But I don't know if Octagon have that in the plans. I don't really know what they want for me next. I haven't really spoke to my manager since before Brazil, so I'm in limbo, lad. Don't know what's going on, but ideally April, March, I think I'd be good to go in a full 10 to 12 week camp, and obviously good to fight then.
Would you want to get on one of those German cards then?
Um,
You've
could
been to
be,
Stuttgart before, so you would know the hotel, you know the arena. You
could
can't
be.
cause trouble again though.
Lad, I cause trouble anywhere I go. Trouble comes to me. I'm not even a troublemaker. Trouble just likes me for some reason.
But you were going around with Dennis, so I think
Yeah.
that's.
I'll be on my own this time, so maybe no trouble.
Well, what's going on with Dennis? He's just called out Paddy Pimblett as well now. Do you see that?
Lad, I don't even want to talk about that shit, lad.
No. All right.
That's between that's between them two, lad. It's nothing to
Yeah.
do with me.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I just wanted to see if I could get your perspective. But you don't want to talk about it. It's cool. Well, let's talk about again going back to the injury. Obviously, the physical side, the rehab and everything. That's one part. But what's the mental side of it? You miss out on a big event in Prague. You have to do the recovery again. I know you preach wanting to be active. What's that like?
Sometimes, lad, like obviously you're not happy. You want to be in the cage. You want to be on the mats. But at the end of the day, I can't stress out over things that are outside of my control.
Mhm.
I only focus on what I can control, and I try and do that to the best of my ability. So even though it was a shit time for a little 5 minutes, I just snap straight back to it and go, okay, well, what can I control? Okay, the rehab, let me take that serious. Studying, okay, let me take that serious. Visual learning, okay, let me take that serious. Eating clean, still lifting weights around the injury, okay, let me take that serious. And I guess that's what gets me back as quick as possible, gets me still performing well when I do come back. So nothing's changed. I'm still a boy. I'm still here. I'm still alive. So I'm just happy, lad. I'm happy to be living my dreams, man.
And just before the interview, you turned off your PlayStation. What have you been playing while you've been nursing the injury?
Anytime you want to put your money on the table and have a one-on-one FIFA 25,
I'd smoke you.
kick your
I'd
ass.
smoke you.
Lad,
I'd
any
smoke
day
you.
of the week.
Let's do it then after the interview.
Lad, did you grow up playing football?
Yeah.
Did you even have football in America?
I didn't grow up in America, so I grew up in Germany.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you off. I'll let you
Yeah.
off. Germans are all right at
Uh,
football.
better than the English.
Lad, you look like you play badminton.
Come on, man. I'd smoke you at FIFA. Do you play Ultimate Team or do you play like career mode? How do you play it?
Lad, do you think I sit here playing career mode against the computer on
That's what I
amateur
do.
mode?
Here
Nah,
we
I'll
are
be
playing a
honest
little
with you.
better.
Lad, I'll be honest with you. It's my little brother's PlayStation, lad. So
Mhm.
I just jump on his ultimate team and I just play people, lad. I'm not a pro gamer, lad.
Oh, you can't do big talk and not back it up, man. Come on.
Lad, look, yeah, then, look, big talk. I will bet you now 100 English pounds I'll beat you.
You wouldn't, so we can take that bet.
Okay, let's bet on it
I'm
now.
very
Look,
confident.
everyone's watching. Let's shake on it now virtually. 100
Yeah.
English pounds. Oh, you just lost a one, lad.
No.
Lad,
Well,
look, I feel bad for you, bro. I honestly do. What are you gonna do now, lad?
I'll
Where's
put
the
the
food
takedown
coming
score on my story later. Yeah.
in? After this, then I'll kick your ass.
I thought you said you had more interviews. You were
I
trying to
do
get
have
out of
more
the
interviews,
sport.
lad. You can wait 5 minutes for one FIFA game.
Oh, I love it. You'll get fed. Let's get back to
Back to
back to the
business.
professional. Back back to Prague. How much of the event did you watch? What did you think of your fellow Irishman and Will Fleury's performance?
I watched the event from start to finish. I watched every single fight. And to be honest, I do that with all MMA events. I watch everyone. I watch the
Mm.
women fights. I watch the amateurs who are making the pro debut. Like I watch everyone. I'm unbiased. It's still mixed martial arts. Sometimes some fights can be underwhelming, but there's still something to be learned from every fight. So I watch everyone. Will's performance, lad, it speaks for itself. But you got to also talk about how tough Mola was in that fight, lad, to take some of them shots and just keep walking forward,
We
lad.
were all calling it for it to be stopped. We were all screaming for the
Same.
press you.
Yeah. When he landed that knee and he was just like drifting off,
Yeah.
fucking stumbling, the ref should have just jumped in. Where was Mark Goddard for that fight, lad?
No.
He should have ref that fight because Will would have got a stoppage.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of Jonas McGard versus Igor Severino? High level stuff. That fight was I thought was excellent.
Yeah, lad, I thought it was close. It was a very, very close fight. Could have went either way. I think Jonas come out a little bit flat in the last round, and that's maybe what
He
fucking
didn't he
lost him
didn't
it.
do
But
enough in the third round to take it, I thought.
yeah, it was close though. I'd watch them fight again happily.
And a guy you've had some back and forth with, and Arjan Topolai, has, I believe, just been announced to fight in Stuttgart. I don't know if you've heard anything on his end of who he might be fighting, or if you'd like to have that fight.
Look, I'll tell you this now for free. He's never, ever, ever fighting me. Never. And it's not because Octagon don't want it, and it's not because I don't want it. He will never fight me. If he would have beaten the Fuka, maybe it would have given him a bit of confidence. Oh, I can grapple. Lad, you seen what happened, lad? Bro, I'm a different level to these guys, bro. I don't grapple like these, man. So he knows in his heart, he knows that's a long night. Whether he survives or whether he gets finished, it's a long night. It's definitely not a night for him. He's looking for guys who are going to stand in front of him and strike.
Well,
But if he wants to go, I'm here. I'll fight him. No
there you
problem.
go.
No problem.
And we've talked about it personally about the UFC and you wanting to be part of the UFC. How have those negotiations gone? Or have you just heard a little bit from the manager? You mentioned to me about visa issues as well.
Lad, I'm an Octagon athlete. I'm happy to be an Octagon athlete. I've got 2 more fights left on my contract. I'm hoping to finish them 2 fights this year, early on in the year. And then me, Andre, Pavel, my manager, all sit down and hash out what's next.
Yeah.
UFC ain't gave me no official offer, so I'm just here. I'm chilling, lad. I'm still looking at the Octagon division like he wants it.
Fair enough. And has your social media finally been like unshadow banned as well? Because you were shadow banned for a little while.
Lad, I was shadow banned for time. I couldn't go live. I couldn't fucking collab posts with no one. Honestly, I don't know what was going on. I think when my last account got deleted, it said don't make a new account with the same name, and I've made a new
Hmm.
account with the same name, so maybe it was that. I don't
Should have been
know. But
Shamrock MMA, not Shamrock BJJ, right?
I just put another J on the end, didn't I, lad? Thinking I was
Yeah,
smart. BJJJ.
yeah. That could be the new martial art then, BJJJ.
Lad, I wish I never even put BJJ to begin with because everyone just asks me what does that mean? Does it mean blowjob? And then they have to explain it. Unless you do martial arts, you don't know any. You think BJ, you just go, yeah, I know what that means.
Be an OnlyFans star, Shem. That's what you should do.
That's not me, brother. Hey,
Shamrock blowjob. There you go.
nah, never that. Wait for that.
Well, so March, April. That's the kind of time frame you mentioned. Eskiev. What else is there for you in Octagon? Do you feel is it one fight title, 2 fights, negotiations, then title? Where do you see it going? Have you had any talks with Andre and Pavel?
Do you know what? We've never ever spoke about the title ever. We've never really had that conversation. Obviously, I picked up the belt and done the little after the fight, but to be honest, I'm not really that bothered about the title, lad. I want the best fights, the big names. I'm happy fighting 3 rounds instead of 5 and getting paid the same amount of money. Hey, them extra 2 rounds, lad, when you're blowing out your ass, make a world of difference. But also, that being said, what's going to happen now? Peters, does he go back to 145? Does Ronnie say, I want to go to 170 because I know the cook kills him? So we don't know what's going to actually happen with the 155 belt right now. Does Keita keep going up and down? Does he stay at 155? These are questions that I can't answer. So I can only look at what's in front of me. And when I look at what's in front of me, I'm looking at the rankings and I'm just like, who's going to bring the biggest crowd? Who's going to entertain the fans with me the most? Who's going to sell a good fight? I don't know. Legersky, Buchinger, um, even in the Fuka or the top lie, but it's who's going to fight me. I don't know who's willing to accept. And this is some of the problems sometimes, lad. And this is why sometimes you see people fighting outside the rankings because everyone in the rankings ends up saying, nah, I'm not taking a risk. I don't want to fight down. I only want to fight up. I just want to fight who sells. I don't care if you're up or down or even not ranked.
One fight, a couple of me and the other journalists in Prague were talking about is a catchweight bout between yourself and Holzer. What are your thoughts on that?
I think like me and him, like we kind of have that little lovers or haters type of thing with a bit our own little personalities. What you see is what you get. We don't fake it. So I think sometimes people want to see like the two people who sell go against each other. Obviously, he's got a grappling style that no one can seem to deal with in his division. I'm similar with my grappling style, so I'm sure people want to see like what would happen. But I've got no interest in really fighting him. I like him. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's young and he's on the come up. I think if he fought me now, it wouldn't be great for his career. And when I beat him, it wouldn't be great for me because it wouldn't really do much for me because it's like you say, it's a catchweight fight. I think in years to come, he's going to be a very, very good fighter. But I've got no interest in fighting him, and I'm sure he'd say he's got no interest in fighting me. Um, but if that's what Octagon said they want, I'd sign the contract, like. But I'll say I don't want it.
And in your understanding, does Keita have another fight on his Octagon contract? Because it wasn't really clear. It seems like he's signing like one fight at a time. So do you think now he's listened to his offers? And realistically, do you think he fights with Octagon again?
So I can only talk about what I believe and speculation. I've never seen his contract. I don't know how many fights he's got on his contract. None of the owners have ever spoke about his contract with me. So whatever I say here now is just speculation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he's just won the game changer and he's just won the 155-pound belt. Surely in his contract, he can't leave if he wants to. Like,
Hmm.
why would you let someone win your belt and walk away? Promotions don't really let that happen too often, lad.
That's what happened
So
with Felipe Lima as well, right? Now he's on to the UFC, the bantamweight division's in a little bit of a leeway.
yeah, yeah. I think his case is a little bit different because he walked off to the UFC.
Yeah,
If Cater's looking to walk off to KSW or PFL, or they're not going to
that
let
would
that
be a downgrade.
happen.
That would be a downgrade at this point.
Yeah, but money talks, don't it? People are willing to take a downgrade if they're getting paid more money. I
PFL
don't
doesn't
know
have money.
what.
PFL doesn't have much money.
No, I'm
It's
just
just
saying
them
like
and
any
Octagon now.
name. I'm just saying any
Yeah, yeah.
promotion. Let's say for example, but I
I
don't
think it's
think they.
UFC or Octagon. Like,
Look, there's always someone out there who's willing to pay, isn't there, lad?
yeah, that's true.
There's always someone, lad, and he's in a position now where everyone wants him. He's like Paul Hughes when Paul Hughes never
Mm,
had a contract. He's that guy
yeah.
now, isn't he? Like he's the next big. Who do we sign? So I can understand why, like maybe some offers might get his eyes turning, but I think if I'm Octagon, lad, I don't let my champions just walk away from our promotion with two belts and the game changer. So I can't see. I see him fighting again in Octagon. I really do.
Yeah.
Unless he goes to the UFC and he's got the UFC clause in his contract. But like I said before, I'm just talking speculation because I've never seen his contract. I don't know what he's thinking in his mind, what his goals are, what does he want for himself. I don't know. They're questions for obviously Andre, Pavel, and Keita, lad.
Speaking about an interesting fight, obviously all speculation. Paul Hughes versus Keita, that would be an absolute cracker, right?
Yeah, it would actually be a good fight, that, yeah. And I've never even thought of that matchup before, but yeah, it'd be a good fight.
I still don't know who wins. I would lean on the side of Paul Hughes, but it would just be an excellent fight, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of Paul Hughes, he has a big fight coming up with Usman Nurmagomedov. I don't know if you saw Khabib's recent statement saying Ireland has no fighters and
Yeah,
that Dagestan has more, which,
yeah.
like, I didn't post this, but I found it a little bit hypocritical because it was the same thing he got upset with Connor talking about Russia. You know, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's kind of doing the same thing.
I think sometimes maybe with a little bit of language barrier, he comes across as like rude or
I
ignorant or
think so,
blunt.
yeah.
But I think he's talking about, I don't think when he's saying Ireland doesn't have fighters, I
I
don't
think
think
he's
he
talking about
means
high
Ireland
profile
doesn't have fighters. I think he means if you look at names,
Hmm.
Like if you look at the biggest names in MMA and you were to name every big name from Russia and every big name from Ireland, Russia would outweigh it massively. But
Hmm.
how many people are in the whole of Russia and how many people are in the whole of Ireland?
True.
It's supposed to be. It's like England trying to compare to America. Like, of course you're gonna win. You've got fucking
But you'll never be
millions of
better than
people.
us. No, I'm joking.
But lad, I think it's also a narrative to sell the fight because the whole card's Russia v Ireland. So it gets
Yeah,
people's blood boiling. It sells. It gets people angry. It gets people excited. It gets people happy. It sells. He's just doing his job to give
yeah,
Usman the platform, lad. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything he's saying is bad. I don't put a knock on him. He didn't like say fuck the Irish people, or he didn't
right.
like mention any religious stuff or Catholic presidents, or. So I just
That
think
was
he's
in
just
his
doing his
essence
job,
saying,
lad.
yeah.
I don't hate him for it. I've got a lot of respect for both sides.
And who do you think wins that fight between Hughes and Nurmagomedov?
Do you know what? I think Usman wins, but I also said AJ McKee wins last time, and Paul Hughes
Hmm.
proved me wrong. And not only did he prove me wrong, he had a phenomenal performance. Whether you can say it was AJ's worst day or it was Paul's best day doesn't matter. On the night, that's all we see. And on the night, his performance was phenomenal, and I can't take that away from him ever or knock him for it. It was great. Just like Keita v Ronnie, I can't ever take that away from him. It was a great performance. Happy for you, mate. Well done. But Usman, different level. I think he's a bigger guy. Naturally, could never really fucking fight at 145. Obviously, as well. I hate to say it, but he's popped before in the past,
Hmm.
so he's got a bit of extra HP, and he's got the he's got the body armor on. But even if you just look at like skill set, he's so good, lad, isn't he? But
Yeah, yeah.
it's the same again. If Paul Hughes comes out now and wins, this time I will not be shocked. I'll be like, he is good. He's proved he's good. It's hard to judge someone, lad, when you've only seen them fight on a European scene, going over and transitioning and fighting. You don't really know, do you, lad? We know he's
Mhm.
good, but we don't know how he stacks up against these other Americans, Russians. We've seen him beat a world class American lad, so let's see
Yeah.
how he does against Usman.
Another big lightweight fight, also involving the Khabib Nurmagomedov team, is Islam Makhachev against Arman Tsarukyan. What are your thoughts on that? I can see just on your face you're excited for that fight.
Yeah, obviously, lad, the first time he fought, what was Armand? Was he like 22, 23?
Yeah, something
And
like that. Yeah, he was young.
now he's a man, lad, you get me? And don't get me wrong, Islam's improved since then also. But I think the growth we've seen from Armand, especially like the fight he had against Charles, he's come up, lad. And I think if anyone can beat Islam right now, it's him. Um, but I'm still betting with Islam. I just can't bet against him, lad, after everything
Yeah.
he's done. It's very hard.
It feels like it's almost inevitable, right? Like that whole Poirier fight, even though Poirier was doing really well, it just felt like, okay, there's going to be a finish and it's going to be Islam. He's going to find it eventually.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
that takedown was lovely, wasn't it? The way he pulled Poirier's leg back, the
It
ankle
was
thing.
it was beautiful, but no disrespect to Islam, I don't see how it was submission of the year.
No.
The takedown was amazing. The fight was amazing. The platform, like fighting for the title. But submission of the year, I think Paddy's was big, and Kamzat's was big. Bro,
Yeah,
Kamzat's the naked choke to snap man's teeth.
yeah,
Wow.
sure.
But for me, I'd pick Paddy's just because he transitioned from submission to submission.
Yeah, no, that
Guillotine,
was
flying
excellent.
triangle, then to the arm. For me, lad, watching jiu-jitsu, that's beautiful, lad.
It is, but also I think you have to look at the and no disrespect to King Green, but the strength of competition as well, right?
I agree with that, but you've got to look at what's the accolade called? Submission of
Submission
the
of the year,
year.
yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, I just look at which is the best submission. It could be against Johnny Nomad that was still in the UFC. So for me, I just look at the best submission. And me personally, I think that was the best submission. But I would say Khamzat Chimaev a close second, which is crazy because he weren't even on the list.
Yeah. true.
I
And
don't know how
besides
Kayla
all
Harrison got there.
Kayla Harris, what did you say?
Kayla Harrison was on the list. I don't know how she got there. It wasn't
Oh yeah, her
amazing.
finish over Holly Holm.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing.
Normal.
It was nice, but it wasn't like wow, submission of the year.
Yeah, no, you're right. What does your
Wait
what
there,
or
wait there. I need to get me charging. I'm on 10%. Give me
all right,
one sec.
run.
Oh, this, ugh, ugh.
All right.
Go
Can you
ahead,
hear
lad.
me?
What were you saying?
All right. What did your Christmas look like? I know you spent it in or a good chunk of that period in Brazil. What does your next few weeks look like as you're kind of getting back to speed, getting back to fitness?
Um, to be honest, lad, I live it all year round, so I don't feel like I've actually lost any fitness. Like, don't get me wrong, you peak for a fight, and you're in a different level of conditioning when you're on that fight night. But compared to like my normal training all year round, I don't eat shit food. I don't celebrate any holidays. I don't take any days off. So Christmas and New Year and all this, lad, I didn't know it was Christmas till our kid goes, it's Christmas today, lad. Like for me, it's just another day, bro. I'm in the gym still. I still trained on Christmas. I still trained on New Year. Like for me, it's a
I worked
lifestyle,
on
bro.
Christmas.
Say that again.
I worked on Christmas, so
There you go, lad. You get me? Man, I gotta grind if they've got things to achieve, lad, innit?
yeah, man.
But I'm
Get
fit.
100%.
I'm fit. I'm ready to start the camp soon. So come at me,
You just
bro.
need Octagon to give you a call then.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you were texting me during that press conference, like I was just trying to get the microphone. You were making me laugh so much. You sent me like 10 texts in a row. What did you want me to ask? Was there any kind of question you did want me to ask, or did I ask the right one?
Yeah, I wanted you to ask Cater about his hairline and why does it keep getting further and further
Why
back?
why don't you ever show up as a journalist? It's like
Lad, wouldn't that be boss if I just showed up in a suit and tie, pair of glasses on, little slick back, no one really recognised me, got the mic. Nah, they're never giving me the mic. Do
I,
you know how many times
yeah,
after fights I've sat in the media scrum part and asked for the mic and they've seen me and been like, nah, you're not getting the mic, lad, are you mad? Because they just think I'm unpredictable, don't they, lad? They don't know what I'm going to ask, so they're not willing to take the risk.
I think if you slick back your hair, you get similar comments to the ones I got from the Czech fans. So
Lad, you were getting it off the Czech fans, weren't you?
yeah, it was weird. Like I was out for a drink with Scott and my friend who was there with me for the event, and he just started like cracking up, looking at his phone. I was like, what have you got on your phone?" Like, and he shows me the comment. It was just like, "Why?" Like, it made no sense. And
You
then
deserve it.
I went on the guy's Insta or the guy's YouTube. He's like a 40-year-old Czech guy who reviews cars with 30,000 subscribers.
Lad, should we go and find his car garage and just put his tyres down?
That would be hilarious, man. There's
Next
so
time I
many.
fight in Czech, lad, we'll go and find them.
We'll go find him. We'll narrow him down. What about that Eden show? Would you like to go on that Eden show again?
Lad, do you know
Just announced
what?
it.
Eden was all right last time, weren't it?
I wasn't there, but it looks great.
It was, lad, it was a good little card, it was a good show, it was a good memory. Um, Maybe one of them, so nice you'd have to do it twice type of gear. I don't know, but I'm looking for some big fights, some co-main events, main events. Does it line up? Is it in Octagon's plans? I don't know, lad.
You could co-main event the Eden card with Vimolave. You could co-main event that if they get you the right fight. You and Paradiser.
How's this cunt getting another main event? How's he getting?
It's what was announced. They said it before the Fleury fight.
Yeah, but lad, you just got fucking bingoed all around the cage. Give the real fight a main event, lad. Give him the co-main or the fucking put him on the main card somewhere, lad, and give him a fake title just to keep him happy.
Yeah,
Retirement title or something, so you can still fight for 5 rounds and you can watch Famola pin someone for 5 rounds. But lad, come on, bro. No one wants to see these 40-year-olds fight no more, bro.
yeah. I mean, they market it as the biggest fight of the century or the biggest rematch of all time.
Do you think this is the biggest fight of the century?
I
That's, you
think
know how big of
Turner's
a
the last
statement
fight.
that is, bro? The century.
Or they called it something like that, didn't they? The biggest fight in Octagon history or something. I thought the Paradiser fight was way bigger.
Lad,
The
the Ronnie
Ryan,
Paradisia fight was big. Will Vermola fight was bigger in my
that was a big fight.
opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
get
and
it,
he
lad. They've
Benny
got their
hasn't
fan
fought
base
anyone
in
else but
Czech and
Vermola,
Slovakia. I get it.
but he didn't fight for 5 years before that fight either, did he?
He sells though, doesn't he? He knows his demographic. He's got his fans over
Yeah.
there. I get it. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, where did they come from? I'd never heard of him before that fight was announced. Like, I don't know, I hadn't seen him around really.
ooh, Attila.
Yeah.
Lad, I see him all the time at the shows backstage and that he's about.
No, I mean like in terms of his career, like before the Mola fight, that seems to be what he's mostly known for, isn't it?
I think he was happily retired, lad, and then money talks, don't it, lad? And I can
Exactly.
understand, like, 5 years not fighting, I'm sure you must get a lot of itches to get back in there, lad. And then when you get an offer that's too good to refuse, you're like, yes, I can finally scratch that itch. And I'm sure, lad, that the fight didn't end for him how he wanted it to go, and he wants to maybe do it again. And if he gets the same paycheck as he got last time, I'm sure he's very willing to do it again, you know, one of them ones.
Fair enough, yeah.
And I don't blame him, lad. I honestly don't blame him, lad. Have you
Yeah,
met him
fair
before?
enough. I haven't met him before. Now I've only
He's a
started
cool
going to
guy, you know.
Octagon
He's,
shows
he's, he's
in
actually a
2023.
cool guy, bro.
I'm sure. I'm sure. The thing is, everyone at Octagon's great. That's the thing. That's why I love going to shows. Like all the fighters are lovely. I've
Yeah.
never met someone bad behind the scenes, except for one person you know who, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say his name.
Say it, lad. Say it with your chest.
No, not a chance. Not a chance, mate. Not a
Do you want me
chance.
to say it?
Go ahead. I don't think you'll see that.
Yeah, no, only messing. I'm not a grass lad. You're lucky I'm not a grass. If I was a grass, you know what I'd be if I was a grass? I'd be a journalist.
Are you calling me a grass now?
If the shoe fits, lad.
All right, all right, all right, all right. No, I think it's time to smack on FIFA. You're getting a little too cocky, but
Come ahead, lad. Look, I'll take your money. How do you want to send me a PayPal?
you can send me on PayPal, yeah. All right, Shem. If there's anything you want to call out, anything you want to shout out, here's your platform before as we close out this interview.
Shout out to me gym, Next Generation. Shout out to all the sponsors. I love yous all. Shout out to fucking pineapple juice because pineapple juice is so heavy, and I'm gonna go to the fridge now and have some. I'll see you all later.
Thank you for the time, Shem.
In a bit, lad.